Oh, you're pointing at me? Like, go ahead, start. I thought you say hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? All that kind of stuff. And then
Well,
drag it
typically I
out.
do. Yeah. Well, typically I do, but you got this. You can
Oh
introduce
gosh, I
yourself
don't
and
know if
stuff.
I do.
Yeah.
I was talking to Whitney and it was actually Jennifer St. Pierre who said to me, she goes, "Do you know what I want you to talk about? I want you to talk about what you've been doing." I'm like, how am I going to talk about that? And I was really at a quandary about what to talk about. So I mean, this is not going to take half an hour. So everybody come up with questions because that's how we're going to play it out. So I'm kind of thinking everybody has probably felt this at some time, at some point, but I felt it really hard in the last year. I'm just gonna okay that it's being recorded. Okay. So have you ever, you know what, put in the comments if you've ever felt stuck. Like you've you feel like you're doing all the things, you're doing the work. Yeah, and it's like glue. I love that. I love that. And you totally want to make a change and your points are moving backwards and you're so frustrated and you just want to throw your hands up and say, "I quit," right? And I don't have this written down. I just have point forms for everything. So this is just coming from my heart tonight, okay? And that's what Whitney said would be best. And you just say I want to quit. And I remember somebody said to me once, and I don't remember who it was now, and I feel badly that I can't say this to somebody, but you can't lose if you don't quit. As long as you keep going, you're good. It's going to get better, right? So that's one little thing. So my story is I hit Emerald spring of 2022. Can't remember which month, April-ish. And I think these numbers were so good and we were such momentum and the numbers were so big and Jen's head's going like this. And it was so exciting. I'm like, oh my gosh, I am going to be Sapphire right away. And then we kind of stayed there and it creeped back a little bit. I'm like, no problem. We'll just get going. And it just continued to drop and drop and drop. And then I lost my Emerald points at one point. And honestly, it started to look like a train going downhill. And we were like, just stop it, just stop it. And I'm working, I feel like I'm just like spending hours and hours just doing the things. And I felt, and it's so frustrating. Has anybody been there? Like, has anybody been there and felt like that? And you know what? Us saying that lets other people know. And if there's nobody who's had that, I'm so happy for you. And I don't want to bring you down. But I feel like a lot of us have been there and there's kind of uh comfort in numbers, right? Knowing that other people have kind of been there. And honestly, I felt like a huge failure. I felt like a failure, and everyone was like giving me these accolades and like Emerald, Carol Murray, and I'm like, but I'm not. I was like, I felt really bad. I felt awful about the whole thing. And I mean, I've been doing all the personal development. I jumped into that and I was just doing all the things and I can see heads bobbing like this and I absolutely love that there. So, as I said, have you ever been stuck? And I'll tell you what I've done. Well, I'm going to give you my little stats of right now. I can't drag this out. I'm trying to drag it out. For the last 3 months, I kind of gave a little, and I'll tell you kind of what I did. These are what's been going on the last 3 months. So I had been moving back, 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 very small move forward, back, back, back. But in the last 3 months, I've grown by 200 points, our team. So that was pretty exciting. I swept the convention contest, which was so exciting. When I saw those numbers, I thought, there is no freaking way. And I'm like, and it was before the 28th I did it. So I was like, woo! And before all the devils on it. So I was so excited about that. In the last few months, I've had 23 new personal VIPs. Actually, that's just in the last 2 months. And I actually have team members that I'm working with right now. And it's been so long. It felt like I was just like, I had my core people that were always working, and it was so hard to find anybody who wanted to do anything. And you know what? It's me. Hey, I'm the problem. It was me, right? So you had to own that, right? Um, People started actually, this is something crazy. I'm just writing team members I work with. People are actually been coming to me, reaching out to me, and I'd never had that before, but I made myself very visible. And so I've had people reach out to me, and I have people just saying, "Hey, I've been meaning to message you. Can I do this?" Yes, yes, you can, right? Um, I'm trending to earn the Canadian trip. I'm in the top 25, I think I'm around there. And what did I do? I realized honestly that look, I just made myself do a thumbs up. I realized no one was coming to do this for me. No one was coming to save me. There was no woo, there it goes again. There was no like magic thing that was going to happen and it was just going to get better. I had to put in the work. So I'm here to tell you, I had tell you exactly what I did. And do you want to know? Tell me, give me a one in the comments if you want to know exactly what I did. Everybody better say one. That's the law. You got to say one. Okay, you're going to hate this. I did nothing special. Nothing special. So you know those IPA sheets? You guys are all hating me right now. You're, I hate you right now. I will tell you exactly what I did, and I do have some tips for you. But really, I committed to doing the dang thing, and I did it every day, Monday to Friday. I admit I worked very light on the weekends, but I did it every day. And in fact, 5 minutes before I got on here, I realized I hadn't done my messages. I sent out my messages. Like I did that and it would be 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, I didn't do it. I have to go do it. Like that's something I committed to every single day. It started with our Wellness Warriors team. We started a list of 100. Who did the list of 100? I know we have a bunch of the Wellness Warriors are in here. So we did the list of 100. And this is what you have to do. You need to write it down on a piece of paper. And you can see I check marks, right? As I go through it, I check marks. I actually found an old, everybody's going to throw up when I tell you what I did last summer. Last summer, I deleted my notes app on my phone and there was no getting it back. It was gone. And it was the scariest thing that happened to me. If you've ever had it happen, I had all my list of everybody I'd ever sent a birthday sample to was in there. Now, luckily, for some reason, I had two lists on the go. Like one went to iCloud and one went on my phone. Now that was the bigger list, but at least I had the list. I went through that list. Anybody I'd ever sent a sample to, their name got on the list. Some of these people I haven't reached out to in 3 years, but I started by writing a list. Now it took me like 2 days to write this list. Best thing I ever did, the best 2 days I ever spent on my business was writing out this list. And it's several pages, this list. And then I've been sending a message every single day. I do 5 to 10 a day, kind of depending where I'm at. If I'm like, okay, I feel real ambitious, I'll do 10. Some days I'm like, oh, just got to get my 5 in today. I can actually read you the message I've been sending if you want to hear it. Oh, where is it? I will find it for you. Do you guys want to know what it is? I'm not going to copy and paste it because I can never copy and paste here, but let me, oh, this is what I've been sending and it's been working really well. And then I modify every month if there's something else going on. Sorry, I didn't have this pulled up. Oh, here it is right here. No, it's not there. I'm really sorry. I thought this, I didn't even, okay. So this is what I've been sending. This is actually what I sent today. It says, hey, space, we're already deep into this new year. Can you believe it? So I wanted to drop in and make sure your 2024 is going the best way possible and you are living your best life. Because usually if I've talked to them already, something wasn't good. So I just say, you are living your best life. Plus, it's been a while since we chatted. So here I am. You can seriously tell me if you're not interested and it's not going to hurt my feelings, but I can't not let you know this or I would be a terrible friend. So Plexus is celebrating a 16th anniversary and we have some great deals to help you with your health goals. Do you have any goals right now or a chance you're open to hearing a bit more? So I send that out 5 to 10 times every single day. So I'm sending messages every day. And a lot of the people I've spoken to since 2022. That's the first thing. And again, I will say this, write it down. Have it written down. I used to be the girl, I gotta wipe my nose, I'm sorry. I used to be the girl that when I wanted to send messages, I would start scrolling through my messenger for people. Who's done that? Do you do that? I seen heads bobbing. Yeah, I got to send messages. So I'm going to go through my messenger and I'm going to figure out who I haven't talked to for a while. you will waste your day doing that, honestly. And if you didn't write, if you're going to do it, write it on a piece of paper that you haven't spoke to that person. Don't send them the message right there. Write it down. Okay. I went, like I said, I went through my birthday list. Anybody I ever sent messages to, this went on here. Then I went back when we had this 2 months with really big promotions. I actually have a second book. So this is my book that I started. This has just been the list of 100. I have a book. If anybody I've ever spoken to more than, hey, did you want to hear some information? They say, sure. We've actually spoken about it. They didn't start. As they started, check mark. And you can see in my book, I changed colors of pens. I literally have little tiny notes for everybody, but there's pages and pages and pages. And this is anybody I've ever spoken to. And I have one book, one, not post-it notes, not little notes everywhere. Someone was telling me I got lots of little books. I mean, you need one book where you kind of write everything. Jen's laughing because she's my girl and I give her tough love sometimes. So I'm like, you need one book. So this is actually, so anytime there's like, I need to drop, especially if there's a big promotion, I go back to this. As they start, I check mark them off. But these are people who have been interested in the past and didn't start. The third thing I do is I went through the last 6 months of my messenger. I did one day. I went through my messenger list and I wrote the people down that I have spoke to. Again, I don't send, I don't even know what I said. Amy said, that's word so good. I don't even know what I said. I lost my train of thought. Go through. Oh, so, and actually wrote it down, like take the time and scroll through because you'll say, oh my gosh, and you'll see messages that you started that you totally forgot about. We've all done it. We've all done it. Even a week later, it can happen. That's the third thing I did. Fourth thing, I have a really good, and it's so important, a good, strong follow-up system that's simple and personal. I think it has to be personal. I'm not a fan, and I love you if you love it, but I'm not a fan of project broadcast. I find people know it's kind of like a, you know, there's my automated message I'm getting this week. Now I do send the same message, but I tend to try to type it, or I'll send the message and add a little something so it doesn't seem like it's a copy paste. So I do send it, and as soon as they answer, I'm kind of following up. I'm like, oh my God, I should have been like, you know, really excited and all that kind of stuff there. So my follow-up system literally is only 7 weeks, and it's been really strong. I'm having really good retention with it. Right, it's Emily Gibson's. Who's Emily Dixon? Emily Gibson's. I think she calls 4-week follow-up, and the 4th week is the gold. It says, it's something like, before your next order arrives, did you need to change anything? Something like that. And it's not that you don't, like, you're letting them know it's coming, and you're letting them, and a lot of people say, hey, yeah, actually I wanted to try this, and I'm adding I've had almost nobody cancel. And that was my biggest fear. I thought everybody's going to say, oh, I didn't know anything was coming. And that, but by me sending that, they know something's coming. So I do love, love, love that. So I do have a 4-week, and then I do a follow-up at 5-week, just saying, hey, you're doing great. I'm here for you if you need me. And then I do another one at 7 weeks, and it's kind of like, hey, just checking in, how you doing? And then I kind of let it, and I'm here if you need me anytime. I might not be checking in as much, but let's keep in contact kind of thing. So it's simple, and I literally write it. Now, I left it at the cottage, so I have it on a piece of paper like this, but I just have the name of the person that I have to speak to each day, and it takes me 5 minutes, super fast. Oh, super important, post and or reels, kind of where you're at daily. You have to be visible. And I think that's another thing that's super important, because a lot of people are coming back to me, not even always about Plexus, but there's just things about like, hey, and I do like engagement posts and all that kind of stuff, but it has to be daily. Because people remember that you're doing it. And then of course, yes, it is about Plexus, because they're like, yeah, I wanted to talk to her about it. And I'd had several people in the last couple months with me out of even reaching out, just seeing me all the time. And then this is one that I'm absolutely in love with. Whitney's here. We started about 2 months ago, and I really think this did make a big change. We started a daily power hour. We personally do it Monday to Thursday. We decided Friday we work a little shifted, right? We find friends that we're committed to. So I know every day at 1 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Mountain, whatever it's called. I know that she's going to be there and I better be on. And now I'm committed. I have to work for an hour. We set our timer for 50 minutes. We usually tend to work. We have been setting a timer lately. And then we also go, oh, it's 2:30 and we have, we had a good time. But I think having someone to work with every single day has really pushed me and made me make sure I do that there. That's all I got. Trying to stretch it out. But it's really comes down to the big things I would say is write it down, what you're going to do, make really, really long lists, start with that list of 100. You'll probably have to build another list of 100 after that. And then find accountability, find that a power hour group. If you have a team that you're all, you're a bunch of, people that work from home, do it in the middle of the day. Pick 1 hour that you're all committed to it. We don't train on it. We sometimes, if other people are on there, and we're all at different levels. Like some people are brand new. Whitney's are diamond. I'm emerald. And Jen's emerald. Like we're all different areas of our business, but we're all there together. So we kind of help each other, and we'll pop in once in a while and go, hey, I have somebody who said this, blah, blah, blah. What would you do for that or whatever? So we're there to support each other, but we're really just there to be accountable. And if you really, really need one, I'm sure that Whitney, I would be absolutely okay with you joining us. We're not doing, like I said, we don't do any training. It's really just there for accountability there too. So we can throw that Zoom link in in our group chat there.
I love it. Carol, it's so good. Let me ask you a question.
Okay, please do.
With your 100 people, what would you recommend if somebody such as myself, I don't have a list. So I guess
Start a list.
Start a list. Okay.
Start a list. Honestly, I find it has to be written down. And I find I get so much more done when I write it down. And I think it's totally worth a day of you scrolling through your messages. And you're like, oh, who's that? And you open up and you're like, oh my gosh, she said, oh yeah, I'm ready. And you totally forgot them. We all do it. You open up your app and you look at it and then you realize you never responded to it, 2 weeks later or whatever. So go through that list and you have to start somewhere. Like,
yeah.
I've been doing this for a couple of years. So
right. Another thing that I just thought about when you said that, if you don't have a list, Bob Heilig talks about anybody who comments on your post that are not Plexus ambassadors, then that could be the start of your list. So that's really good. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions for her?
Do you have a response for if people comment on you? Does everybody know that there's a thing? I actually have it in my thing. It basically says, hey, thanks so much for commenting on my post, or thanks so much for liking my post. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. Were you just being a supportive friend, or were you a little bit curious? And I can't believe how many people say, actually, yeah, I was kind of curious. But they didn't say anything. They just thumbed up.
Yeah, that's great. That is great. Do you guys have the app, the boards app? I think you might have to pay for it now, but there was a link dropped in here for the boards app for her follow-up system. If depending on if your leader is on or not, they could, if you don't have boards, then they could probably get you the
I could drop the one I've been using. I've modified it.
Well, I dropped it, Carol, but what I'm thinking is what if I just copy and paste it and put it in?
And then I've added a couple things, like I added week 5.
Yeah, I have the new one up to 7
and then I have
weeks.
a pre, like when they first start. Actually, that's been really good. Before your orders arrive, I have a few questions for you. And I've always asked 4 questions about like how much water they're drinking, if they're on thyroid. But the last couple of questions are, do you want me to be accountable? How much? Or do you want me to make you accountable? How much? If you knew you could make a few, X amount of dollars, it asks those things. And I should have pulled these boards up. I'm sorry. But it asks those questions. Here it is.
If you could,
it asks like, did you know that grabbing 3 people to do this would give you $400 cash? Are you interested in using a referral link to help offset the cost of your process? If so, would you like to learn more about it? Like, that's one of the questions.
That's awesome. Carol, in our leaders chat, can you drop that board? I know Jennifer dropped the board, but that board with the extra questions that you had, drop that in there. I don't know if that's the same one that Jennifer added, but we would love that. And then the leaders can
100%.
pass it on to their team members. So that was good. Anybody have any questions?
Is anybody mad that I just told you I did messages? Yeah, I posted.
The thing that I got out of it is the consensus is you got to communicate and you got to reach out. If you don't, they're not going to come knocking on your door.
Yeah, they don't come knocking on your door. You got to
They're
be
not going to come
visible.
knocking on your door. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, all right, if we don't have any questions, Carol, you can do your giveaway.
Okay. It's just going to be 10 if it's American Canadian, whoever wins. That's how I'm going to pick, because if it's Canadian, they're going to get some swag. If it's American, it's going to be something from Amazon. So,
Okay.
so do you want me to just pick a number? Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay. How many people do we have on here?
42. We have leaders on here, so
Okay.
let's just make it like 36 up to number 36.
Okay, my lucky number is 22.
Okay, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Well, Vicky can't win because she's a leader, but Catherine Sims. But let me just say something real quick. This is why you need to comment, because a lot of times people will get our winners off the comments. So Catherine Sims, whoever
Catherine
team
with
she's
a
on.
K or a C?
It's a C.
Okay. Can you find me, Catherine? Because I am the easiest person in the world to find on Facebook, because I'm the only person who spells my name like that. There's only one other Carol Murray in Facebook land, and I'm way prettier. Just kidding.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So Catherine Sims, you're the winner. Whoever your leader is can get in touch with Carol. That's fine too. So, all right,
Yeah,
guys,
we'll
see y'all next week. We'll have the recording. All right. Bye, guys.